Assalamualaikum. In the last lecture, we studied the equivalent electrical circuit of a synchronous generator. On a synchronous generator, there is a rotor. The equivalent electrical circuit of rotor is shown over here. On the rotor, there are field windings, resistance of the field windings, and inductance of the field winding. There is generally an adjustable resistor which is inserted in series with field winding. This is inserted to have a control on the generated voltage, and field windings are supplied with DC voltages. On the armature, there are three-phase windings, and in each phase voltages are induced. Those induced voltages are represented by a voltage source. And the coils on the armature, although these are made up of copper, but still they do have some resistance. Each coil has some resistance, and there is also inductance of the coils, and there is effect of armature reaction. And you know from the last lecture that we have lumped together the effect of inductive reactance due to self-inductance and the effect of armature reaction by this inductor. All these induced voltages are same, and you can connect these three phases according to different configurations. You can have a delta connection of these coils. You can also have a star connection of these coils. And if you have connected a balanced load to this synchronous generator, then all these currents, that is current in this phase, and current in this phase, and current in this phase, all these currents will be the same. That is IA1, IA2 and IA3 will be the same, and same will be the situation with the phase voltages over here, the output voltages. Therefore, if you have connected a balanced load to the synchronous generator, all three phases are quite identical. Therefore, we generally sketch the per phase equivalent electrical circuit of a synchronous generator. So, per phase equivalent electrical circuit of a synchronous generator is given by this diagram. And in today's lecture, we shall learn how to sketch the phasor diagram of a synchronous generator, and then based upon that particular phasor diagram, we shall obtain equations for induced torques and powers in the synchronous generator. So we can see that by simple application of Kirchhoff's voltage law, this generated voltage is equal to voltage drop across this inductive reactance, voltage drop across this resistor, and this phase voltage, that is EA, internal generated voltage, that is equal to, so we shall draw the phasor diagram for this synchronous generator for three different cases. That is the case when you have connected a resistive load to this generator, and second one, you have connected an inductive load to this generator, and third case is you have connected a capacitive load to this generator. For the first case, that is when you have connected in resistive load to this generator, this current which is flowing through this load, that will be in phase with this voltage. That is, you have this situation. We take the phasor for V phase as a reference. So this is phasor for the output voltage. And if you have connected resistive load, then this current which flows through the load, that current, that is IA, will be in phase with V phase. So here is the phasor for IA. And voltage which is dropped across this resistor, that is IARA. That will be, since R is simply a real number, so R multiplied by IARA will be in phase with IA. So this is phasor for IARA. This one, this phasor, this phasor. What is phasor for this thing? So IA multiplied by XS, XS is a real number, and then J adds an angle of 90 degrees to it. So this is phasor for JIA XS. This J adds an angle of 90 degrees to this one. IA is this phasor, so IA multiplied by J is some phasor vertical, and then this XS adds scaling to it. EA is the phasor sum of all these phasors, so EA. So this is phasor diagram of a synchronous generator when you have connected a resistive load to the generator. Next comes the case for an inductive load. In case of inductive load, we again take V phase as a reference. This is phasor for V phase, and for inductive load, this current IA, this is also IA, this current IA will lag this voltage. So here is phasor for inductive load, IA. What will be phasor for IARA? That will be parallel to IA. So here is phasor parallel to this one. IA, RA. So this RA adds some scaling to this phasor. Next, what is phasor for this JIA XS? J multiplied by IA will be perpendicular to IA. Also perpendicular to this vector, because this phasor is parallel to this phasor. So JIA XS. Phasor for this one, perpendicular to IA, also perpendicular to IARA. And then your phasor sum is EA. So this is phasor diagram for the synchronous generator when you have connected an inductive load. You can also easily draw the phasor diagram for this synchronous generator for capacitive load. So let's draw it very quickly. Phasor for V phase. For capacitive load, this current in the load will lead the voltage. IA is leading the voltage, and IA, this IA, RA will be parallel to this phasor, and then perpendicular to this phasor will be this phasor IA XS. The phasor sum of these three phasors, that is EA. So here are three different cases. What we can see is that for a given phase voltage and given armature current, EA will be the largest one for inductive load. Is it clear? For a given phase voltage, the same, given armature current, EA will be largest when you have connected the inductive load to the synchronous generator. That means that EA, you already know, that is given by this expression. That is, generated voltage depends upon flux. This flux depends upon field current. So if you have connected an inductive load to the synchronous generator and you want to keep this voltage constant, you have to supply more field current to the rotor circuit. In real synchronous generators, generally XS is much larger than RA. That is, therefore, we can even ignore this effect to have a simplified phasor diagram for a synchronous generator. Over here it is shown a bit exaggerated, this effect. However, in real synchronous generators, since RA is much less than XS, this effect is much less significant than this one. So we can just ignore this effect. So if we just omit this effect, we have this diagram. For resistive load, we shall have this situation: V phase and IA in phase with V phase, and then just omit this thing, we have this thing, JIA XS and the phasor sum EA. So simplified phasor diagram For resistive load, likewise, we have a simplified phasor diagram for inductive load, IA, and just omit this effect, make this thing perpendicular to IA. So here is IA and this is V phase. So just we extend this line. So perpendicular to this phasor, we have JIA XS and their phasor sum EA. We have ignored this effect to get simplified phasor diagram so that our further calculations become less complex. Based on this simplified phasor diagram, we are now going to derive expressions for powers and induced torques in synchronous generators.